Hey everyone, it's Octo Dylan. So in this video, I'm going to be going over things about FrostyFest for Splatoon 3 coming up very soon within January of 2024 between the 13th and the 15th. And I'm going to be mainly going over things like I'd recommend you do or just things just to prepare for this event. And at the end of this video, I will be telling you my team. Is that just like Splatoon, like here, like this picture I have from Splatoon from this year back in October, the plaza is going to be decorated with just a ton of like winter holiday themed decorations. So like snowmen and snowflakes and like all this stuff, and the idols are also going to be having special outfits. Alright, so these were the outfits that the idols had back in Splatoon of this year. So that is Deep Cut, and this is the Squid Sisters. So just like in Splatoon, they're going to be having special outfits. Now I'll be having a picture of what their new outfits are going to be looking like. So something that I would recommend that you do before the Splatfest starts is that eventually, like about around a week leading up to the Splatfest, you should be able to pick your team. I'll be having a picture of all of the teams up on screen, including the event times. So yeah, about around a week, you should be able to pick your team. Now, once you pick your team, you will get a special Splatfest Tea. And personally, I would recommend that you just level up your Splatfest Tea because it's just a really good way to be prepared and ready, because honestly, you don't want to really try to be like leveling up that Splatfest Tea during the event, especially if there's like specific abilities you want on that Splatfest Tea. Although keep in mind, your Splatfest Tea will be going away after the event ends, so I would recommend not like putting any ability chunks on your Splatfest Tea just because it's going to end up going away. But I would recommend that you just level it up, that way you'll have some abilities that can hopefully benefit you during your turf war matches in FrostyFest. Something else you can also do, you cannot do this currently yet, but in the week leading up to the Splatfest, you'll be able to earn Conshells. Now, for the Conshells, they will allow you to have free plays at the shallot machine. Now, in the shallot machine, you can get a ton of things. Things for, like, your splash tag here, just things like banners and badges and things like that, and also just a ton of titles. So things like that could also be really useful for customization, and you can even get like, just like some extra items for your locker here. So yeah, you can just get a ton of like extra just items, like a lot of these random items I typically did get from the shallot machine. So you can get just a ton of nice little items for your locker if you'd like, and yeah. Now the main prize you get for FrostyFest are going to be sea snails. Now, sea snails, I'll be showing you the multiple uses for sea snails and why they're so valuable. You can only get them through Splatfest events. Aside from that, there is literally no other ways to get them, although they are incredibly valuable in Splatoon 3, and I'll be showing you the multiple ways you can use them. I have 20 up there. It's in the top right next to my money count. Alright, so the main way you can use your sea snails, now I'm going to be showing you each location to where you can be using them. But if you are in the original Splatoon 1 plaza from the DLC for Splatoon 3, if you walk in this back alleyway, you'll see this person named Spike. And Spike will allow you to use your sea snails in multiple different ways. So like, oops, not this. So like, if you want to like, let's say your piece of gear, like let me give you an example. This jacket for me only has 3 slots in it. If I want to increase it to a 4th slot, which will allow me to have more abilities in that gear, you are going to need to be spending one of your sea snails that you get from the Splatfest. So that can be useful, especially if you're going for like a perfect gear set. Like you typically want like 4. In fact, I'm going for a perfect gear set. So yeah, those are some of the multiple ways you can use your sea snails from the Splatfest event. Alright, now for my gear build, I'm just going to use this random t-shirt because For Splatfest, you must wear your team Splatfest Tea. You must wear it. You cannot use any other shirt or anything like that. You are only locked to your Splatfest Tea, so I'm just going to use this one as just a little stand-in for that for now. So my gear set is going to mainly be my main headphones here, which mainly has Ink Saver main. Now the reason why I run Ink Saver main is because it decreases the amount of ink consumed by your main weapon. So like my dualies here, for example, it will allow me to be using less ink for my ink tank, meaning I'll have a lot more left over to do things like my curling bomb or just generally inking the ground or something. It's always good to have extra ink in, for me, it's always good to have extra ink in my ink tank because I can always use it for other things rather than it just getting consumed by like dodge rolls or things like that. So I'm mainly running Ink Saver main. And for my shoes, I'm going to be running mainly a ton of special charge up, which increases your special gauge fill rate, meaning I can get my special faster, being the triple splashdown, which is very useful. So that will be my gear build for this Splatfest. And just like whatever abilities I just randomly get on my Splatfest Tea once you're able to get your team. Alright, so something I also wanted to mention is just the best weapons for this event. Now, for FrostyFest, you are going to be mainly just doing turf war. Just mainly turf war. Just a ton of turf war. To hopefully gain some victories for your team, and hopefully your team will be able to win. So, personally, my favorite weapon to use for turf war has got to be the arrow spray. Like, either arrow spray, the golden one or the silver one. Personally, my favorite has got to be the golden one, just because, like, it paints so well. And the thing is, if you actually shoot your weapon forward like this, and you move your stick up and down, it can spray even more. Which is something else. And I love the special, the Booyah Bomb, because if I, like, throw it at opponents, it's just a nice way just to be like a, kind of like a get out of my way, move away, like, type thing. So that can be very useful, just like a special for just like a back off or get away type thing. And the sub is also the sprinkler. So this is also just another great tool for painting and things like that, which is also just great for turf war, because obviously in turf war, you're just going to be covering a ton of space. Like, you're just going to be trying to cover the entire map in your particular ink color against the opponent. So I would recommend just either arrow spray. Although the Splattershot Junior can also be pretty good for this. Although honestly, anything that can really just ink super well, like even like here, let me reset. Even like the NZAP can be super good. Like if you want more like just like a less like all over the place shooter like the arrow spray, you can use like the NZAP, which can also be really good. It's more like, it's a lot more straightforward. Although it also comes with a more like support special for your team, being the Tacticooler. So if I use the Tacticooler here, the way the Tacticooler works, if you walk up, you can get a drink, and all of your 4 teammates can also be using each one of these drinks, and it'll give your teammates certain abilities, like run speed up, like I think I have run speed up right now, swim speed up, quick respawn, all these different things you can get from it. So if you want more of like a shooter that can also paint for turf war, but can also be a bit of a support weapon, I would definitely recommend the NZAP. And just another weapon I'd recommend is, of course, the rollers. Like, the painting from the rollers is just really awesome. So, and it just be really useful. And something else that's, most rollers, they have this, where you can do the flick like this. And it can be nice just to have, like, a straight path forward like this. Now, personally, I'm using the Kraken roller, so I have the Kraken as my special, which can definitely be used for more offensive purposes against opponents. And something else, it also has a little bit of support. If you use the squid beacon, you can place it around the maps. Like if that was like a little corner of the map, your teammates can go on their map and they can super jump to that squid beacon. So the rollers are also really good, like especially the carbon roller. The carbon roller is also really good. So turf war, obviously, you're typically painting the ground, but if you want to be like me and go for a more offensive approach and just more like, just kill the other team and kill the other opponents, just to constantly like keep them off the map at all times while your other teammates could be inking as well, I would recommend like this Splash-O-Matic here, because it has perfect accuracy. It also has perfect jump accuracy. So if you're more just like, you just want to be all offensive and less paint and just much more offensive, then I would definitely recommend using the Splash-O-Matic. And also, it also comes with the Burst Bomb and the Crab Tank, which are all very offensive used things. And of course, for the weapon that I will be running for this is going to be the Emperor Splat Dualies. I utterly love this. Now, personally, I am a killer. My number one job is just to literally get the opponents off the map temporarily by killing them. So that is my job. So I will be using the Emperor Splat Dualies, but those are some weapons I just recommend that you use for depending on which type of style, what type of play style you're going to be doing during FrostyFest. And something else, Nintendo will also be giving out free gear through the Nintendo News app on your homepage of the Switch. Now, they have not announced when they'll be giving these out, but just like Splatoon, there will be special gear, and if you go to the News app, once this releases, it's not possible to do this yet, but if you go to the News app, they'll have a little post like saying, here's the new gear for FrostyFest or something like that, like claim it now and you'll be able to claim it. I'll have pictures of that gear up on screen. Personally, I love that little crown. It's adorable. And I love the little shell crown as well. Those two are probably got to be my favorite pieces of gear, but these are just fun little pieces of gear that you can get to celebrate the event. Alright, so for all of you who made it to the end of the video, thank you for watching, by the way. My team is going to be Team Friends for FrostyFest. I am super excited for this event, and I hope to see you all there. And thank you all so much for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you all next time.